Jenny and I knew each other in high school, and we didn't see each other for years, and connected later on Facebook. One day I found out Jenny was adopted. I hadn't realized that, and she was looking for a birth parent. So we got together and worked on getting her answers and reconnected that way. And Jenny, being as friendly as she is, she remembers every adoptee she's ever met in her life, I think, and started funneling them my way, and we helped them get their answers and decided we were a pretty good team, finding people needing the help and getting their answers for them. So
for those who are searching for a birth parent, courageously searching for a birth parent, I felt I could connect with them. I understand, and I have some compassion for what it's like on that journey, seeking to know the truth about your origins.
So flash forward 2 decades, and I've helped trace family pedigrees through over 17 countries worldwide. And it is like discovering buried treasure every time. It never gets old. It is so much fun.
I was fascinated by my great-grandmother's story. She was born in 1891 in Chihuahua, Mexico. She moved to the United States because Pancho Villa burned her town down. To me, while most people were reading about that in history books, I heard a first-hand account, and it was better than any book could ever be because my grandma lived through it. I always had a question of, where did I come from? Who am I? What are my people like? What languages did they speak? Why do I have dark curly hair and blue eyes, yet I have olive skin? These are questions that probably sound silly to somebody who was raised with your biological family, but when you're an adoptee, they are questions that you start thinking about at a very young age when you look in the mirror or somebody mentions your mannerisms. I could make a difference in people's lives, and that's why I connected with Barbara, because I've had such a high respect for her for so many years.
I absolutely love helping other people, other families, discover their unique heritage and stories and fall in love with their own family history. Many people, when they take a DNA test, get their results back and they only have second cousin matches, nothing closer. And they give up at that point because they think, I can't figure this out. But a lot of people like Jenny, even though that's their initial experience, when they take the DNA test, success is still possible. There are things we can do to find birth parents from a second cousin match, even if there's only one. And I've had clients from all over the world. One only had a second cousin match, and one parent from Australia and one parent who was from initially the Ukraine. And we were still able to figure it out. It's so wonderful to live in a time when we have technology to use and ways to get these answers that people have had their whole lives. And it's wonderful. I've had people tell me I spent my whole life so often wondering about these things, and I don't wonder anymore because I know the answers. And it's neat to see the joy that comes from not only the relationships, but just having the questions answered and settled after so long. It's very fulfilling to help people with that.
Yeah, I think there's a peace that comes from the truth. Just knowing this is my story. I always knew I'd love my family no matter what, but I really like my family, and it's been pretty amazing, and I feel super blessed to have had this opportunity, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without Barbara. I'm here in Southern California to meet my dad and my brother, and if you could see my legs right now, they are shaking. This is worse than anything that I thought I would feel as far as nerves. Oh my gosh, there he is.
Dave, come here. What? Oh, let them tears go.
I'm sorry. I love you so much.
Jenny and I know there are other people like her out there who've taken DNA tests, only had a second cousin match, and thought, well, I tried. We can help. There are things that we can do to help get answers, even if that's all someone has to work with.
Origins is a full-service genealogy research firm. We offer services such as mapping family trees, searching for lost ancestors, finding birth parents, things like that, just to help you connect more with your family's story.
In addition to just filling out pedigrees and mapping out a lineage, we really focus on finding those family stories that have deep meaning. Stories of ancestors overcoming hardships and challenges, things to pass on. When I started doing this, I began telling my children stories about their ancestors at bedtime. And to my surprise, they wanted to hear the true ancestor stories more than they wanted to hear the fictional fairy tales and adventure stories.
I hope that we can help those people who are curious about their family, maybe the people that are curious about maybe starting to search, or those who are right now searching and feeling the frustration or the disappointments. We want to help. We want to help them make those connections that answer the questions of who am I, where did I come from, who are my people. It's just fulfilling.
I have one client who's gotten really close to her half-sister, and sometimes she'll call on the phone and say, I was missing Mom today and you sound just like her. Can we talk for a while? I've had many people come to me wanting to know their origins, wanting to know countries of origin of ancestors. For example, they would know a great-grandparent came from Russia, but they had no idea where. And helping them learn the exact village, getting pictures sometimes of the ancestors in an old home they lived in. It's really fun.
We have heritage tours that you could travel, as we call it, going back home, to where your family came from. We can get it as personalized and customized as helping you go to the home maybe that your family lived in. How cool is that? To be able to touch the walls, and you know the old term, if walls could talk. Now you get to be there. You get to actually walk the footsteps of your ancestors, see where they were married, see important places to them and what life might have been like for them. Like I said, growing up as an adoptee, I always had an interest in genetics because I wanted to know what connects us as families. How do we all connect? So I majored in genetic engineering, and from that I have an in-depth knowledge of DNA. And if I could encourage you to do it now, don't wait. Don't waste the years that you could spend with your family, getting to know your family. Recently, we've helped quite a few people find their birth parents who had looked for years, as long as I had. One of them is actually leaving in a couple of days to meet her mom for the first time.
Initially, I was thinking about things just from the adoptee's point of view, thinking, oh, I'm so excited to have helped them get these questions answered and find their birth parents. So often, what we discover is that for years, for example, a birth mother has wondered, is my child okay? Were they placed in a good home? And there's so much joy and healing so often from if a birth parent is still living when they find out that their child has done well and is happy and well adjusted and was in a good home. So for me now, it is something that is so beneficial on both sides of the equation. It's fun to see people made happier through getting those answers.
With Origins, your family story and history is no longer a thing of the past.
We believe every family can benefit from knowing more about their personal origins. We would love to help you find the buried treasure in your own family lines and have that to pass on.
Your story matters to us.
We so enjoy helping families discover and love their own unique heritages.
Origins is a fast-growing company, but we will never be too big to provide the personal attention your family story deserves.
We would love to help you fall in love with your own personal family heritage.